All right. So we got a couple more left. Yeah, a couple more left. So another phrase that some men say that's a huge red flag is, I don't really know what I'm doing with my life right now. So, I'm a firm believer that if we're going to have successful relationships, what is best in the majority of situations is for that man to figure himself out and at least have the proper foundation already in place. And for him to be the one to set that foundation, not the woman creating the foundation for him, not the woman giving him his vision and plan. No, him figuring at least that part out. I'm not expecting men to be rich, right? I'm not expecting them to be perfect or anything like that. Just the foundation. And when a man says, I don't really know what I'm doing with my life, that's very dangerous ground to walk on. All right? Now, understand that even men who have found success may go through a season of doubt, of struggle, of having to recalibrate what they're going to do. And maybe they've lost themselves in this moment. Or I'll give you even me, for example. I found success on my own, let's say Stefan's way, when I was younger. I was owning a bunch of properties. I had multiple businesses, and then all of it came tumbling down. And I went through a season of, I didn't know who the hell I was, right? And I didn't know what I was doing with myself anymore. And at that same time, I was going through this very deep spiritual journey of trying to figure out what God was doing in my life. This whole thing of even being closer to God and having God be at the forefront of what I do and trying to let him guide me. This was all new to me, right? And I went through what I call my wilderness period. And it was then me coming out of that with the understanding of where God was directing me that I was able to rebuild success, but this time do it God's way. So this is not to paint the man who doesn't know what he's doing with himself as bad, as weak, or anything, because again, it can happen to those who at one point thought they had their stuff together. However, with that said, I can tell you right now, it would have been a horrible thing for me to get into a relationship during that wilderness period. It would have been the wrong move 100%. And it would have been not just dangerous for me and where I needed to go in life, it would have been dangerous for any woman who would have tried to entertain it and think she could hold me up and help me. Because not to get too deep in it, I got plenty of videos on these types of things, but I'm going to say this. This is the part that's hitting my spirit the strongest. When a man is going through those periods in his life, some people need to hit rock bottom before they look up and see God and let God do the work on them, okay? And if you jump in, you're going to interfere with the process. And in that process, God is trying to teach that man to lean on him, not to lean on you, not to lean on his mother, not to lean on this one and that one. No, to lean on God and understand what he needs to do for himself. And we would and it's going to be so much more beneficial for everyone to let that man go through his process. All right? And again, not that he has to come out of it, then become rich, and then he can have, no, once he gets his foundation, we're good. So all that to say, and I understand, not every man you're going to come across going through that is even a believer, right? And some of you may not be believers yourself, so that aspect of it, including God in the whole description of what I was just breaking down, may not be applicable to you. But I think even if you removed God from it and it's just a man who doesn't know where he's going in life and has to figure himself out, it's still essentially the same in the sense that he has to learn how to overcome that adversity and stand on his own 2 feet. So when he says, I do not know what I'm doing with my life, if you want to be an encourager, a supporter, whatever, at the most you can be a friend, not a romantic friend. Not this, we mess around, but we're just friends with benefits. No. Like platonic friend, if you can handle that, if you can honestly stick to those boundaries, okay? And and it's not even anything wrong if you're friends with the understanding that there is interest there, but we're gonna respect the fact that now is not the time. But the reality is that most people can't handle that. So for most people, you're not gonna be successful just remaining a friend because your feelings are gonna get deeper and attachments grow. But either way, that would be the only exception to me. Other than that, let him figure it out. Once he figures himself out, if he wants to come back and you guys want to try again, then you can possibly move forward. Hey, thank you for watching this video. Be sure to check this one out right here, and I'll see you there. So there's a quote I love to post a lot that says, "The same red flags you ignore in the beginning are the same red flags that will end your relationship." And this is so very true. I see it all the time.